everybody. I'm Doc.
I'm Indigo.
And
Today we are going to talk about altered timelines.
Altered timelines.
Yeah, or alternative timelines that we experience.
It's interesting. There was a friend of ours, a reader, who experienced a rather uncomfortable dream. And it didn't make any sense to her until she was reading at a fair we were both at.
And it's about a week later.
About a week later. And you know more about it because she talked to you.
Yeah. She said that in her dream she gave this woman a reading and then didn't think anything of it because nothing really happened in the dream that I can remember her saying. But a week later, she was at a fair and she was reading for this woman, and all of a sudden she remembered that she had a dream about it. But with the remembrance, she had physical symptoms.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. She said she got lightheaded, her vision got real blurry, her hearing got, muffled. I think even she may have had some nausea.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And she told me about this, and then I remembered on that same day, I lost my vision. I got lightheaded.
No.
I had muffled hearing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And, it was about 15, 20 minutes for me. And then talking to you.
I experienced much the same thing.
Yeah.
Again, I felt like I wasn't quite in my body. I felt a little lightheaded. Fortunately, I didn't lose any vision or anything like that. But in talking with you, and we realized that the three of us were experiencing the same thing, we slipped into an alternate timeline.
But we had done that a week earlier.
And
yes. I don't know about you, but I felt very out of sorts all week. It felt like I was almost in a meditative state, in that dreamy, I can't quite put my feet on the ground, very floaty.
I didn't have that particular experience, but I did feel like I was slightly altered all week long.
Yeah.
The question is, why did that happen?
Well, nobody knows. It's simply our consciousness maybe needing to experience something in that other timeline.
Possibly.
Maybe some information, because she did get information for that woman in the reading that she needed. And maybe that caused us all to slip into that alternate timeline.
Well, it's interesting that it happened at the same fair, on the same day, right around the same time.
Not really, because if you think about it, we combine all of our energies.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if we are with these people or not, we tend to draw off the people that we know.
Exactly. That's true.
And that's an energy exchange. And so when you energy exchange, those things can happen simultaneously because she needs that energy to be able to do this.
And if we think about it, she was reading on the back side of us. We were kind of back to back. And in that particular circle of readers, we were combining our energies, and the energy got very, very high.
And who knows, if she hadn't pulled that energy, maybe she would have been the only one who got back into the timeline. We could have still been on the alternate timeline and gone later.
Yeah, that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I personally believe that when we slip into that little alternate timeline, we are getting information from Spirit. It's kind of like being at the old telephone party lines. You're talking to one person, but you can hear somebody else talking on a different, somewhere differently. But we're talking to our clients, but Spirit is pulling us out slightly so that they can tell us some information that we need for ourselves.
Yep. It was just a long time to be in that that alternate timeline. Now, in another video, we're going to talk about deja vu, which is something very similar, in my opinion. It's just that you spend a much shorter amount of time on that other timeline. It's very brief.
Very brief.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is something much different.
Much different.
Much different. And it can happen for a lot longer.
It can happen. We can get stuck.
Yeah.
If you happen to be doing a really deep meditation and you come out of it too fast, and for the next 2 or 3 days you just kind of feel kind of like you're out of it, you can't think straight, or you have trouble thinking or focusing on producing sentences, you may be stuck in that altered state of consciousness.
Yep.
So these alternate timelines happen, and they happen all the time.
They do happen all the time.
All
Yeah,
the
at least to
time.
me they do.
Yes, without question. Yes.
And the more advanced I become, the more often it happens.
Yes, and I find that it happens for longer periods of time. So.
And this other reader is very advanced too, and so it does not surprise me that she was stuck in that timeline, and that we all kind of got stuck there with her.
Yeah, it's really kind of interesting. Not necessarily because now, of course, Indigo and I are connected. We're not so connected with the other reader, but the reality is Spirit needed us in that timeline because there's something we needed. And now, if I remember correctly, you came up with some new information during one of your readings at the fair.
Well, which piece?
The one about the soul exchange.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
yes, because that
we-
one was very interesting because you do get new information like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the information that's we needed for our clients at the fair.
And if you go back to review that video, we must put a warning on that video because it is a trigger. There will be a trigger in there.
Could be.
Could be. It could be.
Could be. Yeah.
So again, remember when we speak, it is from our perspective. And so just take it as that. It's our perspective. You don't have to take the same perspective we do, and it's okay.
It's absolutely okay.
But we would suggest you go back and look at that video because it was very interesting, the information that I got on soul exchanges, which is different than walk-ins.
Much different.
So.
And I too got some new information, and I got a new perspective on things. And so there is a purpose. Spirit has a purpose when it takes us into these timelines, different timelines. So
I think we'll leave it there.
That sounds good.
Yeah, we'll leave it there. Everybody kind of digest this one. It's a different perspective again. If you have any questions or comments or would like us to expand, I'm sure there's a lot more we could talk about on this subject.
Definitely. Please leave your comments, subscribe and share.
Like.
And like it. Please do. Our channel can't grow unless you subscribe. We appreciate you watching us, tuning in with us. Until next time, take care.
Bye-bye, guys.